We didn't make Nick, God made Nick. But we understand that it does take a village, and there have been a lot of outside influences that have helped form Nick to what he is.
We did not let him fail. You know, we said, you can be just like everybody else. He is a great worker. He takes instructions really well. He's great around the house.
He helps me with cooking.
All the time.
You know, we've all got designated cooking dinner nights, so he'll pick out what he wants and he'll shop for them, he'll buy them, he'll come home and throw the chef's coats on and he's on it.
I like to cook chicken parmesan, and I like to make pizzas and pasta.
He's got a pretty hectic schedule, so his ability to cook, he's not living out of a box. If he's hungry, he makes something from scratch that's generally pretty healthy.
You do all the eating too.
All I have to say about that is don't mess with the man's food.
When I think about the support of Stark DD, haven't really needed or sought out a lot of support until now. But now we're at a point, we're aging, our support network is aging, our son's aging, and we don't have all the answers for ourselves anymore. Nicholas spoke on a panel of people with disabilities. Nick made a comment that he had been at Giant Eagle almost 10 years. And there was a resounding, wow, that's great, from the audience. A light bulb went off. And I said, what are we doing to help Nick pursue a career of his dreams?
Nick isn't somebody in our system who has a lot of funding, and so what we're really working on is how do we connect Nick then to some community resources. So Nick and I sat down and had conversations about, you know, what do you like to do, Nick? What's important to you? One of the things in particular is he loves to watch football. I have a connection to Malone, and so I got a hold of the football coach and said, hey, I got a guy who loves football and he'd like to help out with the team. And right away, you know, the football coach at Malone was like, I want him. I want him here all the time. I want him a part of this team. I want him a part of our culture.
He means a great deal to all of us. Our players, our coaching staff helps us put everything in perspective. He does a great job helping us work. Every Tuesday gives a motivational talk and his pep talk. But it's helped us keep really everything in perspective about this is bigger than just football. This is about life and about hopefully helping our young men mature and hopefully giving Nicky something he takes a little pride in, which I think he does.
As we say, we all Malone Pioneers.
After getting him involved in Malone, we were able to do some of the other things to kind of transition him to finally getting a waiver. And I think in the future, what we're looking for Nick is to figure out how do we continue to make Nick more independent. One of the things that's super important to you, Nick, is sports.
I love to play basketball, and I love to play softball. When I play basketball, I make it rain. I make 3-pointers. I make layups. And when I'm on defense, oh buddy, there's no stopping me on defense.
Nick's able to do a lot of things for himself, and he has great natural supports, family, friends, you name it.
The thing that I admire about him most is just his love for life. I can't describe it. Whenever I'm having a hard time, I know that I can call him and hang out with him. He sees everything in a positive way, and there's very few times that he's down or depressed. I know that he's always going to be there to lift me up.
If I feel down, he's the one that picks me back up. And so, with that being said, that's why we're buddies.
Nick started playing with sticks in his hands since he was able to sit up. Nick's been playing on a real set of drums since he was about 12 or 13 years old. Well, he's 28 now, and a lot of this he's learned on his own, listening to music, emulating what they were playing on the CDs, and he sits and plays along with all the different artists that are out.
My favorite band of all time was Aerosmith, and I know all the beats to that, and I know all the beats to the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and Carlos Santana,
Eagles.
Over the last few years, getting to know Stark DD more intimate, the types of support and services we can get out of them. I do feel like we will have some more dependence on Stark DD to connect us to service providers that can help in the areas where perhaps we didn't need it before. Living alone may not be the answer for Nick, but living independent of his mom and dad definitely is.
That's the main concern. At 35 years old, does he still want to be hanging out with mom and dad? I hope not. I hope something develops that gets him out of the house and becomes the man I know he is.
To people who don't have any connection to the developmentally disabled community, specifically Down syndrome, he's a great ambassador of what's possible.
The Stark County Board of Developmental Disabilities helps people with disabilities live and work in their community by eliminating barriers and coordinating funding and monitoring services.
This is us.